Your instructor is going to advise you that to register for your cognitive exam, you're going to need to go to the National Registry website to set up your account. I'm going to click on my internet browser. The website for National Registry is www.nremt.org. This web page is going to open up. Again, you're going to need to establish an account. And I'm going to click on Create a New Account. I've selected my username, and now I'm going to provide the website with a password. That again is unique to me. My personal information, my email address. I have to let National Registry know why I'm applying for this. I am using this login because I'm applying to become nationally certified. I do have to select 3 questions below and provide answers to those questions. So I'm looking at the list. I've selected the middle name of my father. I'm going to fill that information in. I've selected the middle name of my mother. I will fill that information in. And I've selected what city or town I was born in, and I will fill that information in. Please remember that these questions may be asked of you if you lose your password. It's the reason for the information. Please read the attest statement. I hereby attest that the above information is true and correct, and understand that submission of fraudulent information is subject to disciplinary action. I will submit this information. It tells me that the system is saving my profile and asks me to make note of my username and password. So if you need to look at that information, make sure that you've written that information down, because you will need that information. It does bring me back to the login page at this time. So I'm now going to enter the username that I set up and the password that I put in. And now it's going to ask me to select further demographic information. It does ask for a Social Security number. Please realize that this number must match the number on file with the Virginia Office of EMS. Otherwise, our 2 files are never going to merge, and your authorization to test letter will never generate. This is very important information. My date of birth, and please look at the format that it's asking you to fill this information in. With this one's requiring month, day, and year with slashes between it. It's asking for my information. Again, you can see the stars that denote the information they must have. And it does tell me that the information must match the ID that I'm going to provide to Pearson VUE on the day of testing. So it's very important that you use your given name and not some nickname or surname that you follow. I'm going to provide them with my mailing address information. This is important. This is where your National Registry certification would be mailed to. So you would want to make sure that this information is correct. As you can see, the information that's required, National Registry does not require that I give them a telephone number, but I'm going to provide them with at least one number. It does ask my preferred communication method, whether it's electronic email or through postal hard copy. That's how you would receive additional correspondence from National Registry once you become certified with them. And I provide them with an email address so that they can contact me. I need to look down and review the optional information they're asking, whether I want to receive NREMT registrant mailings. That's a checkbox. They do want some demographic information as far as how much education you've had, your gender, male or female. They do want some demographics about what category you fall into, as you see the information on the page. Employer type. And I'm looking at the options, selecting in my situation. I do work for a state government. My primary EMS, my personnel's service status. My primary EMS job responsibilities. And I'm looking at my options, and I have made that selection. I don't have to select other. And in fact, I believe that you can skip most of this information. The only thing I have to do at this point is provide them with the same Social Security number that I provided earlier. It does tell me I did not fill out other job responsibilities, and I'm going to tell them that's okay, and that I did not fill out the states I'm licensed in. I'm going to tell them that's okay. You can provide them with the information that you wish, and you can keep clicking through and tell them that's information that you prefer not to share with them. As you can see, I have successfully completed my profile, so I now want to click on Create a New Application. My information populates from the information that I had provided them. I'm going to come down and I'm going to click on NREMT application level. This is very important. If you are older than 18, you're going to be taking the EMT basic or EMT exam. Obviously, if you're in a first responder class, you would click on first responder EMR. If you are under the age of 18, I need you to click on assessment EMT exam. However, I'm over the age of 18 and I want to test to become certified as a National Registry EMT. I'll click on EMT Basic EMT. I will wait for the system to register that. I need to read the application entry requirements. I read this information. It is critical that you understand the entry requirements before continuing. So I have reviewed the entry requirements. I've clicked on that. I want to review the EMT Basic EMT. Very important information is contained on this page, so please take the time to read over the information that they are providing you with. After I have completed that, I will come back and click on Create My Initial Entry App, which will bring me back to the page that I was on. Again, I'll select the EMT Basic EMT, unless I'm under the age of 18. I will click that I have read and understand the NREMT entry requirements and wish to complete the online application, and I will click the Next button. I need to provide them with the month and the year that my course completed. My course will complete in March of 2013. I am not doing a refresher course, so I leave that information alone. I do want to click on the location of initial training. What you're looking for here is the state of Virginia. And now, once I've filled that in, I will click on the information that says List of EMS Educational Programs. This will populate with all approved courses in Virginia. Please ask your instructor what information you are searching for here. I'm going to go down, and in my situation, I have taken a class that was offered by Mark Cromer. So I will select Mark Cromer, and his information will populate into the field. This is the information. This is going to place my application onto Mark's list of students that he will approve when I successfully complete his program. As I move down, you'll see that it says not all program directors have set up sections. I want to leave that alone and leave it blank. My state EMT number is the unique number that's been assigned to me by the Commonwealth of Virginia. And I don't have a state EMT expiration date, so I'm going to leave that blank. My CPR credentials are important. National Registry does require that I be CPR credentialed. I will put the information in on the expiration date of my CPR card. I do have to answer a couple of licensing and felony questions. The first one, have you ever been subject to limitation, suspension, or termination of your rights to practice in a healthcare occupation, or voluntarily surrendered a healthcare license in any state or to any agency authorizing the legal right to work? My answer to this is no. And it asks if I've ever been convicted of a felony or a general court martial, and my answer to this will be no. I do need to read the affirmation statement. I'm not going to read that to you, but you do need to read that information. And I will now hit submit and submit my application. It does tell me that national certification requires successful completion of both a cognitive and a psychomotor exam, and that the past portions of the exam, both cognitive and psychomotor, will only remain valid for up to 12 months. I acknowledge that by hitting the OK, and it tells me that the system is now saving my application. I will click OK, and I will wait for National Registry to complete my exam. As you can see, my application has been saved. It also tells me that I can now, upon logging in, always check my application status. I will at this point check my application status, and you will see that my course completion needs to be verified, my practical skills need to be verified, and that they have not received payment for my testing, and that my state approval is pending. Your application will remain in this status until you have completed your Virginia Psychomotor exam and your instructor has gone in and marked you eligible for the testing process. You can log in occasionally and check the status of your testing application. After you have completed your Virginia Psychomotor exam, about 3 to 4 days after that has taken place, you can log into National Registry and you should see that your practical skill verification has been completed and that your payment has been applied. And at that point, you should see your authorization to test letter in your National Registry portal. That letter will provide you with the information necessary to contact Pearson VUE and set up your cognitive exam at a Pearson VUE testing center.